What's up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny 2. We are back with a This Week in Destiny, taking a look ahead at everything that you can expect for the up and coming week. So if you want to find out more about the Dawning 2021 and 2 new quests, alongside some exciting updates for the 30th anniversary pack, a full rundown of the weekly rituals, and more importantly what Tess has available for Bright Dust this week, then be sure to stick around and enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a comment and rating down below, and remember to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. Just over 70% of the viewers on the channel aren't currently subscribed, so be sure to hit that red button and ring that bell to make sure you don't miss an update. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. Another week and another This Week in Destiny, and this week on week 17 sees the return of Dawning in 2021. So Eva Levante returns to the tower for the festive celebrations for the year, so make sure to pay her a visit over in the tower. And as always, we'll need to bake cookies for various NPCs in the Destiny universe, as well as earning new weapons, cosmetics, and picking up some awesome new Dawning ornaments from Tess over at Eververse as well. Now, as for the weapons, we have 4 reprised weapons. We have our first Stasis Sword in the Zephyr, which returns, which was originally introduced in the Curse of Osiris. It comes with a new perk called Cold Steel, and this can freeze targets using a heavy attack. Now, this particular sword is earned initially from a quest, and we'll cover that shortly in the video. Alongside this, we have the Cold Front. This has some new perks on it, such as Perpetual Motion and also Harmony. The Glacioclasm also returns. This once again has many new perks. It has Subsistence, Reservoir Burst, Threat Detector, Harmony, and Backup Plan all added for this year. If you can get Subsistence and Reservoir Burst on this will be an absolutely formidable weapon. And the final weapon making its return is the Avalanche Machine Gun. This returns with Subsistence and also Adrenaline Junkie as new perks. So if you're still seeking out a good machine gun, then this could be the chance with the Avalanche returning this year. Now, as we said earlier in the video, there are 2 new quests alongside the Dawning event. Now, the main difference between this Dawning and previous years is we have Fallen as allies and a truce with Keitel and some of the Cabal. And with that in mind, we have the Pigeon Provides, which is a Fallen-based quest, which helps introduce the Fallen to the festivities of the Dawning event. Now, upon completing this quest, you'll get a new shader called the Polycarbon Powder, and alongside that shader, this will be your first opportunity in getting the Zephyr Stasis Sword. Now, for the other quest, this is called the Rite of Dawning. This is the Cabal-based quest. Now, for completing this, you'll get the Malibu Bronze shader and also a brand new emblem called From the Ashes. Now, outside these new quests, there are 11 new triumphs for the Dawning event. Now, most of these triumphs require you to bake cookies and treats for the 21 NPCs in the game. Now, as well as baking cookies and treats, you'll also need to earn Dawning Spirit that you can earn from completing triumphs for the event, alongside defeating combatants using snowballs during the Dawning. The event itself will run for 3 weeks and conclude on the 4th of January 2022. So all in all, there's some pretty cool festivities to get our teeth into upon this week's weekly reset, but be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, alongside the Dawning, we have some updates for the 30th anniversary pack. Now, for the Grasp of Avarice, which is the dungeon, if you have the paid track of the anniversary pack, you'll now be able to farm the loot as of Tuesday's weekly reset. Initially, it was locked out once per character per week, but from Tuesday, you'll be able to farm your dungeon to your heart's content. So if you're still seeking out that god roll for Ice Luna, then Tuesday will be your opportunity when jumping into the dungeon this week. Now, alongside those changes to the dungeon, we have a new rotation in the Dares of Eternity when it comes to the legend difficulty. So new enemies will appear when spinning the Wheel of Misfortune, and this will take us one step closer to completing the Vidmaster Seal. We are still 1 week away from completing our Vidmaster Seal overall, so make sure to jump into the Dares of Eternity this week to get that challenge done. Now, moving on to the weekly rituals, we have a new Vault of Glass raid challenge. It comes in the form of the Oracles challenge, which is the only Oracle for you. This will earn you an extra chest and also access to the Time Lost weapon for the week. Now, to complete this challenge, players cannot destroy the same Oracle more than once, so you'll need to rotate around the arena and communicate well with your team to ensure you can get that challenge done. Now, if you can complete that challenge, you'll get access to the Time Lost weapon, and the Time Lost weapon this week is the Praediff's Revenge. Now, as we all know, the Time Lost weapons come with second perks in the 2nd and 3rd column, essentially guaranteeing a god roll each and every time. So if you haven't got the Praediff's Revenge god roll just yet, then make sure to jump into the Vault of Glass this week. Now, alongside that raid challenge, we also have a new legendary Shattered Realm to contend with. It comes in the form of the Debris of Dreams. And if you're still chasing down the anchors and the mysteries from all these legendary Shattered Realms, we made a specific guide just for the Debris of Dreams. So be sure to check out that video if you're still seeking those out, and I'll leave the link to that down in the video description below. Now alongside the Shattered Realm, we have a new Crucible Rotator this week. It comes in the form of Mayhem. Now Mayhem is fantastic for those quick Crucible ranks if you're looking to level up Lord Shaxx over in the tower. And alongside the return of Mayhem, we see the return of Trials over Osiris this weekend. So if you really missed Trials over Osiris due to Iron Banner last week, then make sure to jump into Trials this week upon Friday's daily reset. Now alongside the return of Mayhem and Trials, we also have a new Nightfall this week. Devil's Lair is in rotation, but also with bonus Nightfall rewards. Now Devil's Lair is one of the easier Grandmaster Nightfalls in the Grandmaster rotation, and if you are able to complete it on Grandmaster, you'll get access to the Adept weapons this week. Now one of the Adept weapons this week is the Comedian Shotgun. Now all in all, this shotgun is seen as a bit of a joke, as it is actually one of the worst shotguns in the game. But with that being said, if you're still collecting these, and with some of the changes to some of the perks on this weapon, there could still be some decent rolls available. If you have any roll recommendations for the Comedian though, be sure to sound off down in the comments below. Now alongside the Comedian, we also see the return of the Shadow Price Auto Rifle. This is one of the better 450 RPM auto rifles in the game, and with auto rifles being the anti-barrier weapon for this season, the Shadow Price is one of the go-to weapons. So if you're still seeking out a good roll for this could be the week to finally get that roll. Now alongside those weekly rituals, if we move over to Europa, we have a new Eclipse Zone. This can be found over in the Cadmus Ridge region. So if you're still seeking out your augments way back from Beyond Light, then be sure to head over there to find your target. Alongside that, we have a new Empire Hunt in the Technocrat. Now the Technocrat is a great source of pinnacle loot, so make sure to fully upgrade Variks over on Europa as well to ensure this is a pinnacle reward for you. Now the same can be said for the Exo Challenge, which is the simulation safeguard this week. By fully upgrading Variks once again over on Europa, this is once again an easy source for pinnacle loot. So if you're still seeking out those last few power levels before jumping into some of the new content in the 30th anniversary pack, make sure to get those pinnacle challenges done. Now next up we have the Lost Sectors. These are for December the 14th only and Tuesday's weekly reset. Now the Legend Lost Sector can be found over in the Dreaming City this week over in Aphelios Rest. Now if you're seeking out some exotic chess pieces, this will be your opportunity to farm them out in this Lost Sector upon Tuesday's reset. But if you're seeking out exotic gauntlets instead, then you'll need to head over to the Chamber of Starlight. This is also in the Dreaming City and is the Master Lost Sector upon Tuesday's reset. So if you're still seeking out some of these exotics from previous seasons and further still better rolls on them, then make sure to head over to the Dreaming City to get those Lost Sectors done. Now with all the weekly rituals out of the way, it's time for the most important part of the week, and that's what Tess has available for Bright Dust in week 17 of Season of the Lost. Now before we jump into the Bright Dust, some of you may be asking about the Anarchy ornament on the thumbnail. This is called Compliance. This is a brand new weapon ornament for this year's event. This is available this week for silver, but if you wait until next week, you'll be able to pick it up for Bright Dust. So if you fancy saving yourself some pennies, make sure to hold off until next week. Now as for the Bright Dust items themselves, we have a new legendary emote. It comes in the form of Ski Walk, and this can be picked up this week, and this will set you back 700 Bright Dust. Alongside that, we have a brand new transmat effect called Piled High. So if you fancy picking it up this week, this will set you back 450 Bright Dust. Alongside that, we have the Justified Cobalt. This is a new legendary shader introduced for this year's event, and this will set you back 300 Bright Dust. Now over in the main Bright Dust store, we have a new exotic emote for this year's event called Snowball Fight. Now sadly, we don't have a preview of it. If you pick it up for silver, it will set you back 1000 silver, but you can pick it up in week 1 for 3250 Bright Dust. Next up, we have the Graceful Spin. This is a returning legendary emote from a previous event, so if you missed out on it on last year's event, this will set you back 700 Bright Dust this time around. Alongside that, we have the Chill of Winter, an exotic sparrow from a previous Dawning event. If you're collecting these, this will set you back 2500 Bright Dust. Next, we have Silverwing Kestrel, an awesome looking exotic ship. So if you fancy picking this up, this will set you back 2000 Bright Dust. Alongside that, we have the exotic weapon ornament for the Black Talon called Frostborn. This was introduced as part of a previous Dawning event, but once again, if you missed out on it, this will set you back 1250 Bright Dust. And the final item on offer is called the Tangled Projection, a ghost projection introduced this year, and this will set you back 1500 Bright Dust. So there we have it, guys, a good look at everything that we can expect for week 17 of Season of the Lost and the returning of Dawning in 2021. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see here in these cards for more Destiny 2 content. And if you want to keep up to date with everything to do with Destiny 2, be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump back into the game as always, guys, and I will catch you all